Hi everybody, welcome to NorCal Slot Car Scene. Today I'm going to combine slot cars with vintage racing. In 1973 I attended one of my first races at Laguna Seca, and it was the 73 Can-Am, and I got to see the 917-30 driven by Mark Donohue, which was probably one of the most iconic and amazing race cars of all times. At that same race there was another driver there that I didn't know a whole lot about. His name was Vic Elford. And if you're a Porsche fan, you probably knew him very well. And myself, not being a huge Porsche fan, I knew of him, but not a lot about him. Little did I know that 27 years later, I would be racing in a celebrity race with Vic Elford. That's me in purple in the back. One of the other celebrities there in the black shirt on the right is Tony Adamowicz. This event was held in conjunction with the Far Out Slot Car Club, Slot Cars at the Peterson Museum. This was an absolutely amazing event that took so much work, I can't even imagine it. They had 13 tracks there. These tracks were brought in from throughout Southern California from the various track owners, including people I know now, Eddie Shore. This race was put together by the Far Out Club, headed by Stephen Farr Jones and Mike Smalley. The race was put on for charity. When you purchased your admission ticket, you got a certain number of laps on all the tracks, and you could purchase more. So the 13 tracks there from the various people in Southern California, as long with some of the manufacturers, this was just a mind-boggling event. The feature event of the day was a celebrity race, and it featured Tony Adamowicz and Vic Elford. I attended the event with a couple friends of mine from Sacramento, Brett Ostrom and Tim Lang. We were fortunate enough to be selected to run in the celebrity race. So Tim Lang and myself joined Michael Smalley and Vic Elford as teammates. Vic drove great in the race, as he always did. And along with my teammates, we were able to win the celebrity enduro. Here we are celebrating our victory. From right to left, it's Tim Lang, Mike Smalley, Vic Elford, and myself. The track used for this race now resides at the LA Slot Car Museum, and the website there is on the bottom. If you want to see some amazing slot cars from the 60s, just check that website out. After the race, I started doing some research on Vic. I knew that he was nicknamed Quick Vic, and you can see some of his accomplishments here. He started as a rally driver and actually won the Monte Carlo Rally and the 24 Hours of Daytona in the same year. He also raced in the Daytona 500 a few years later. He raced for many factory teams throughout his career. And in Can-Am, he also raced for McLaren as well as Chaparral. He holds numerous lap records and was the first driver to lap Le Mans at 150 miles an hour. Another distinction that Vic holds, he was the only driver to race every version of the Porsche 917. And I think he's best known as a Porsche driver. One of his greatest accomplishments, however, may not have been as a driver. He stopped his car mid-race to try to remove a driver from a burning car that he saw. This was all caught on television, and there's a link in the upper right to the complete video. Because of his bravery, he was given the National Order of Merit by French President Pompidou. Back on the topic of slot cars, there are hundreds of slot cars on the market that were driven by Vic Elford, from NSR, Slotted Fly, and many more. My personal collection includes this 1971 Nürburgring 1,000 kilometers winning car of Vic Elford. This set was given to me by my friend Jason Portman. The most prized car in my slot car collection is this Scalextric Camaro that was driven to victory by Vic in the 1970 Trans Am at Watkins Glen. I actually got this car from Vic's website, which featured his racing memorabilia along with slot cars. I've done a lot of slot car racing over the years, but that day racing with Vic Elford was definitely the highlight of my slot car career. Vic Elford was born on this date in 1935, and we lost him a couple years ago. Thanks, Vic, for all the memories. This is Jim Rose with NorCal Slot Car Scene.